river that leads to the Atlantic Ocean. This river you're seeing. Top 10 reasons why you should visit Makomi community in Waterside local government area of Ogun State, Nigeria. Top 10 reasons why every tourist across the world would head to Makomi community in Ogun State, Nigeria. Number 1, the magic water. Have you heard of the magic water? This water exists in Makomi community. Now, this water is known for curing guinea worm. If you have guinea worm anywhere on your leg and you dip your leg inside this water, you will see the worm coming out. Apart from that, this water actually cures a lot of diseases. I was told that this water is so magical that it has color. If you look at it well, you will see that it has color. That color is a function of the roots. I mean, the herbs, the roots that have combined to make it medicinal. That water is magical, the water is spiritual, the water is in Makomi community in Ogun, Waterside, local government area of Ogun State, Nigeria. Head to Makomi because of the magic water, to see the magic water. At number 2 is trade by barter. Makomi is the only place in the entire West Africa where you will still see a market that operates trade by barter, and that market is called Ajaba Market. Ajaba Market is in Makomi, and you need to visit Makomi to see trade by barter in operation. Their market day operates after 9 days interval. Ajaba Market, you see trade by barter operating in a massive form. Now, there's a jetty in Makomi. When you get to that jetty on the market day, you will see different boats arriving from different parts of Nigeria. People come in with yam, rice, cassava, plantain, goats, all forms of goods that they want to sell in the market, but they don't need cash. They don't even take cash. What they do is when they come, they hand you over this, you give them this. If you have goat, you give me yam. But you don't give me one yam, you give me the number of yams that will match the goat. If you have rice, I give you this. If you have oil, I can give you fowl for oil. This is really exciting. And do you know what? Do you know something unique about the Ajaba Market? The market operates all through the day, all through the night. Yes, all through the night till the next morning when traders depart to distant places that they came from. The Ajaba Market is the only place in the entire West Africa where you will see trade by barter being officially used in a market. What a wonderful tourist attraction, and that is why you should head to Makomi community in Waterside local government area of Ogun State, Nigeria. At number 3 is the beach party. Now, the beach party is the most massive you can get in the entire West Africa during Okashi Festival. You see, there is this festival they call Okashi Festival. After the Okashi Festival, the next day you have this beach party, and tourists that came for that festival are always present to witness the beach party. It is massive, and it takes place in the Ifara River, beautiful river, medicinal river, very clean river, and the beach party is massive. People of all classes, men, women, boys, girls, people come there, and the atmosphere is very wonderful. It is intriguing indeed. The beach party always takes me to Makomi. I think you will enjoy the beach party in Makomi. every year. It's an annual event. You won't believe the next one. You won't believe this number 4. Female warriors. Yes, believe me, female warriors are being trained from childhood in Makomi community. Remember, Makomi is actually Ijebu land, and Ijebus are noted for being warriors, not just male warriors, but female warriors. I witnessed the existence of male warriors in Makomi community during the Okashi Festival. In the evening of day 2, I saw people using canes, flogging themselves. Yes, boys, that is normal. But girls, that is not normal. I saw them. Yes, those are the female warriors growing. You would think it's a joke, but you have a lot of them like these two. You have a lot of them in Makomi community. So if you come, you will see them, and it is something exciting to behold. Female warriors everywhere, and during the festival, you will see them killing themselves, flogging themselves like men. No pain, no gain, as it has to do with the female warriors in Makomi community. Next is the slave trade routes and images. You may not have known that Makomi has a place in the history of slave trade in West Africa. Remember, Makomi is a community by the riverside. This river you're looking at leads to the Atlantic Ocean, and what used to happen during the slave trade period, slave ships used to pass through this route. So when you come to Makomi, you will be shown the routes that had something to do with slave trade, the waterways that slave ship used to pass to pick slaves. Back then, from southwestern Nigeria, the ship will stay far away from the jetty and then use smaller boats to come to the jetty to pick slaves and then head back to the ship. So when you come to Makomi, you will be shown traces of the history of slave trade, especially in southwestern Nigeria. You also need to know that the relics of slave trade are still there in Makomi. I mean, the equipment, the weapons, the materials that the slave masters used to keep the slaves intact, they are still there in Makomi community. And that is why Makomi community should be one of the most sought after destinations for tourists heading to West Africa. Next is Oforo. The Oforo is a ritual race done by elders, people in their 60s. You won't believe that. Yes, they run around their community, the Makomi community, 3 times. And this is a sacred race as part of the bigger Okashi Festival to appease the land, to make the land sacred, and then to make sure that good tidings come to the people of Makomi community. Oforo. Oforo is a race done by those who are hosting the Okashi Festival of that particular year. People that are in their 60s, between the early 60s and mid 60s, they are the ones that host it, and the members of that particular age grade will have to run in the evening of the day after the Okashi Festival, and it's a sacred race to appease the land. Just watching the Oforo is actually something that is exciting, something glorious that every tourist from across the world should come to witness. This next one is also unique to Makomi community. Let's have it. Let's have it. Ewe Abbora business. Ewe Abbora is a kind of leaf that is used to wrap kola nut in large quantities, and it keeps the kola nut fresh for a long time before it is sold in the larger market or exported. And in Makomi, you can find Ewe Abbora deep inside the forest, not just around the community, but inside the forest. And what do? When they get these leaves, they tie them in heaps, and people come from other places, distant places, to carry them ahead. They carry them to Shagamu, close to Lagos State, Nigeria, and that is where they are sold. Massive trucks enter Makomi for this. So why is this special? If you want to see how they get Ewe Abbora, if you want to see where they get it, you have to follow one of them inside the forest. What an exciting trip! What an interesting adventure to follow them to go and get Ewe Abbora. It is something exciting that can attract you to Makomi community for as long as you want to stay for your adventure. Next is the Allesia Dance. the Allesia Dance, which is the traditional dance of Makomi community. It is the ancestral dance of Makomi people, the Allesia Dance. The Allesia Dance, very unique dance steps that will make you to visit Makomi community. People of all ages, toddlers, children, teenagers, adults, male, female, you see everyone dancing the Allesia Dance when you get to Makomi community. These people love their culture and then they learn it from childhood to adulthood. Honestly, I love the Allesia Dance, and one of the things that made me enjoy my stay in Makomi is witnessing the Allesia Dance and trying out my steps during my stay in the community. Next is the Jetty Environment. The Jetty Environment. You know, Makomi is a community by the riverside, so they have this jetty where you can stay and have your cool evening relaxation, and that was one thing I did every evening of my stay in Makomi. I love the Jetty Environment. See, you can just visit these places and have fun while you are in Makomi community. The Jetty Environment, the riverside, the boats, the canoes, and the speedboats, all these make Makomi an interesting place to visit. Now, this next one might not sound valuable to you, but to any tourist, it is very valuable. The facilities. I mean, there is nothing as frustrating to a tourist as going into a village where you can't even make a call, you can't even browse, where the network, the telecommunication network is terrible. I tell you, in Makomi, they have this facility very strong. The 3 days I stayed in Makomi, I never complained for one day of not being able to make call or to browse. Honestly speaking, in Makomi, as a tourist, you can even post your videos while there because they have this strong communication network. The facilities there, they have this strong communication network service there, and you won't complain. That is very important. It is important to tourists and travel bloggers like myself. I tell you that you will love it about Makomi community. Of course, they have good network, so you see, you don't even have problem with that one. They have good network, and then nice atmosphere and sit outs. So you see, honestly speaking, the facilities in Makomi community are tourism friendly. I tell you, any tourist will love to visit Makomi and wish to return some other day. Next is the Okashi Festival. Now, the Okashi Festival is a part of a bigger festival that I've not mentioned. But you see, you can go to Makomi to witness the Okashi Festival because Makomi community is the place that you can find the biggest and most massive Okashi Festival in the entire southwestern Nigeria. The Okashi Festival of 2025 was something else. I was there. It was colorful. It was massive. The atmosphere was intriguing. And everyone was excited. Okashi Festival should actually make you book your next ticket to Makomi community. The biggest of them all is the AEB Festival. The AEB Festival is a month-long festival within which you now have the Okashi Festival, the beach party, the Aurora, the appearance of several masquerades. I tell you, the AEB Festival is massive and is something that can bring any tourist from across the world to Makomi community. Honestly speaking, if you want to schedule your visit to Makomi community, find time to schedule it within the AEB Festival so that you won't even have a dull moment at all. You will have several cultural activities that will keep you busy throughout your stay. That is when you will see the Iboja masquerade, the Okoro masquerade, that's the Koro masquerade, the Epa masquerade, the Igodo masquerade, and the Agera masquerade. Several cultural activities to keep you busy during the month-long period of the AEB Festival. very interesting festival that should bring any tourist from across the world. The festival is one of the most massive tourist attractions in the entire West Africa, and it takes place in Makomi community in Waterside local government area of Ogun State, Nigeria. Make out time to visit Makomi community. You will not regret that trip at all.